Hello, hello. Uh, okay. We are live for our tapping stream. Hi. this is it's on my computer this time. We're crossing a lot of fingers, hoping that it's going to stay happy. Finally broke the whatever curse there was in my computer, not allowing it to go live. If I do disappear, I will come back. It will likely be connected on my phone, but it should be the same. Just where how you're finding me now, you'll see it pop up again. So it's good to be here with you. I'm a little low energy today because I'm just a little bit under the weather, which is why I'm not as I don't have fun things on today. I didn't even put my dots on. So, but I have the makeup stick. So I am going to do that. I just figured I'll just do it while I say hi so that I wasn't late to show up for you. Um, so I don't see any comments yet in chat. If someone would just put in like an emoji or just type a hi, just something so I know that that part is working. Because I'm still a little bit paranoid about trusting that my computer is doing what it's supposed to be for this. That would be great. Thanks. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the tapping dots on. Oh, thank you, Laura. Hi. Okay. Phew. And if this is your first time, welcome. We do EFT tapping here. You can bring any concerns that you have that, today that have been on your mind for your entire life, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is an hour that I dedicate to all of you and whatever is showing up for you and where you could use some support and maybe perspective and what EFT is able to offer through what I'm able to give to you directly and the support and love that you can feel just in the community of everyone who's here today. So um, I'm going to use my little stamp tool to just show you different places where you can tap. These aren't the only places where you can tap, but these are the ones that are generally used in EFT. So I don't put anything on the top of my head just because you wouldn't be able to see it anyway because I don't tilt my head forward. But the first spot is going to be right where the nose and the eyebrow are. We'll see how talented I am at doing this. Those are a little wonky, but that's generally it. Your fingertip is going to cover that whole area anyway. So it's okay if it's not exactly, it's the same points like an acupuncturist uses, but your fingertip is bigger than a needle. So you're covering more space. So as long as you are pretty close, you're going to be just fine and getting that response that you're looking for. The next one is right up on the side of the eye, actually right on the bone. Some people aren't as close as they need to be. They tap a little bit out. It's actually on that ridge that's right there. So a little bit of a tapping tutorial, I guess, first today. The next one is going to be on that bone, just under the eye. But if you wear glasses, and it also tends to be just right where your pupil sits, there is another spot that's shown if you feel the top of your cheekbone and go down. It also tends to be about an inch lower than the first point. You can tap there instead. Gosh, I'm not like lining up these moons at all, so they just look like wonky dots. You can tap there instead, wherever your glasses sit, so that you're not having to like mess with the frame all the time. And then in between your nose and your lips, in between your lips and your chin. And then the spots here, you find the edges of your collarbones and drop down. You'll feel like a space that's in between your ribs. And that's where this one is. Doop, doop. Okay, and those are, oh, I can mark the one on the side of my hand. Okay, and then just in case we use it, because we did last time and I didn't have anything marked there for the 9 gamut is right there. Okay, and then I'm not going to mark on the side of my body because I don't want to put makeup on my clothes. Okay. So, welcome, welcome. Those are the spots that we will be using for tapping today. You do not have to use both sides. If you only want to tap on one side, you absolutely can. If there's a spot that feels sensitive for you, like say maybe tapping up here, it messes with your vision or it just doesn't feel good to you, maybe you have a headache, you can skip that spot. It's perfectly fine. You can get a lot of results from EFT tapping, even if you just use one spot. If you do only use one spot, I do suggest using the one on the hand. There are some benefits here. If you watch my recent video on psychological reversal, that's why this point can have just a little bit of extra benefit to you. And the pressure that you use doesn't need to be anything more than like you might tap your fingers on a desk, and going harder doesn't mean better results. So remember to be gentle with yourself. If you're uncertain that you're getting the right spots, particularly here, I've seen people do this and have an effective session with just that. And the spots under the arms, it's about hands width down from the crease of your armpit, so up pretty high. If this motion is kind of difficult for you, if maybe you've got some shoulder restriction, you can give yourself a hug and tap them that way. That makes it a little bit easier. And you can also do flat hands. Also, if you're like, I just don't know if I'm getting the spot, you can kind of clap on your body. That's also harder to do from this angle. So this makes that a little bit easier as well. Okay, now that we've got that whole little thing, I'm going to see. Oh, hello, Leslie from upstate New York. Yes, PND11. Hello, Lisa, Malcolm, Leslie, Rachel, Lillian, Darcy. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay, what would you like to tap on? What is showing up for you? Just go ahead and drop it in the chat if you've got it. We're going to do a quick little breathing to just kind of center ourselves into this moment while a few people are typing in what it is that's coming up for you. Um, if you're feeling shy, you're not sure, you want to share what you have to tap on, what you can do is whatever we're tapping on, you can substitute in what you're dealing with. We're also going to hold an intention for that, that whatever it is that we tap on is going to be beneficial for everyone. Okay. So let's go ahead and get comfy. So wiggle around in your chair, make sure your body, arms, legs, back feel really pretty comfy in whatever position you're choosing. Okay. And then let's take a deep breath in. Let that out. And allow your attention, particularly wherever your mind is, to just settle in on your immediate surroundings. Just how does your body feel in the chair and where you're sitting? Or if you're sitting on the floor, or if you're in a bed, what's that registering like on your body? Where are the points where you're feeling the pressure of it? Are you at a slight angle? What all parts of your body are touching it? What about your clothes? If you think about your clothes, are they flowy? Are they a little bit tighter on you, giving you a bit of a hug? Are you warm? Do you have long sleeves on? And we're just engaging our sensory organs and being present in where we are. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath. Now let's focus in on our heart space. You could put your hands over your heart if you want to. I enjoy doing that. It helps me with this part. So when I say heart space, I mean just where your hopes live, where your imagination lives, where your love lives. And allow yourself to lean into that space. Really feel yourself there. And as you're comfortable, invite yourself to join a more general space where all of us are in our heart spaces together, where we can energetically connect and reach out for support, reach out to give support. We're just able to be here together through our love and through our hope and through our intentions. And as we're in this space, let's take one more deep breath and out. And in this space that's just flowing with an abundance of hope and love, let's all together decide whatever we tap on today, whatever this time frame looks like, I accept that I'm supported, and I accept that I can receive love, and I accept that whatever categories come up, whether I feel like they directly apply to me or not, that I'm still receiving good messages for my brain, and then I can adjust them to make them a positive outcome for this time that I'm here today. Okay. Just a normal breath in and out. Okay, let's go ahead and start tapping. So let's start on the hand, and I'm going to look over here at the chat while we're just beginning to tap. Okay, I'm seeing weight loss, post baby weight, headache and pain, overwhelm. Okay, trauma around illness and health. Thank you so much, everyone, for contributing. I want you to know I'm seeing you, I'm reading you. We're going to start up at the top here with Rachel talking about weight loss and post baby weight. Now, I know this doesn't apply to everybody, so um, let's get a little creative in how that's going to work. All right. So let's talk about body communication and feeling positive in our bodies and feeling like our bodies are listening, to the efforts that we're putting out. So if I use the word, baby weight, what's a word that you can replace in your mind, even if weight isn't an issue for you? And some form of communication with your body that maybe uh, you would like some improvement on. So give yourself a moment to find that. Even though right now I'm in a weight loss struggle with my body, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I look at my body and it's not where I want it to be right now, I still firmly choose to deeply and completely accept myself and where I am. Even though there are things that I wish were different for my body right now, I still commit to choosing to deeply and completely accept myself. This weight, this weight on my body. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. Keep tapping. My outlet isn't on and my computer's about to die. Hold on. Okay. Okay. This weight that my body won't release. This weight that I don't want. But I've got it. It's mine. And here we are. There's so much advice out there on what I should do, what I shouldn't do. There's so many opinions on whether I'm doing it right or the most right. I feel really confused. I don't have confidence that I know the best way to get the body that I want to have. The body that I want to have. The body that I have now. Whether or not I have the body that I want to have right now, still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. But do I? Do I? Or am I just saying that? Ugh, I don't know that I know how to feel that when I don't actually have what I want. Well, maybe I struggle to accept where my body is 100% right now. But maybe there are parts that I can accept right now. And I don't mean a percentage, I mean literally parts. Do I accept my fingers? Are my fingers at an acceptable level? Probably. Okay, so I can deeply and completely love and accept my fingers. Okay. What's something else? Can I deeply and completely love and accept my lips, my ears, my eyelashes? What about my muscles? What percentage of my muscles are working in a way that I'm really grateful for? I can talk, I can express, I can hug. What other form of movements do I have? Walking, dancing, sitting, pointing my feet, turning my head. Okay, so there are things about my body that I can accept, but that's not my issue. My issue is with weight. Or is it with weight? I wonder if there were to be something underneath the desire to lose weight, what would that be? Would it be the desire to get something back? So maybe feeling a sense of security, or maybe I feel a sense of loss and I'm trying to fill that back in. Is it a sense of pride or accomplishment? I don't mean pride in a negative way, just feeling proud of yourself. And my definitions of those have drastically changed now, and I'm not quite sure how to define it. Take just a moment and think about that. Find a word or a phrase. What is it that I feel like I accomplish if I lose the weight? What do I receive? What do I get to have that I don't get to have right now? Hmm. So, whatever word that is, I'm going to use the word peace. I would get to have peace. Oh, what if I didn't make the weight a barrier to receive that? I could still have the goal of losing the weight, sure, absolutely. But what if it wasn't what kept me from receiving this? What if I could receive that right now? Yeah, receiving peace right now. And whatever my body journey is or isn't, and however long it takes or doesn't take, I accept I can receive peace or your word right now. Maybe that'll even help me with my other goals. And I deeply and completely accept myself as I learn how to do that. Okay, let's breathe that in. Okay, and let's see. So let's go to pain next. Specifically, headaches are mentioned. I'm just taking a quick glance to see. Thank you, Jackie. If anybody else has mentioned any other particular kinds of pain. Okay, so headaches specifically, but pain in general is, chronic fatigue, Hannah. Okay, I feel you on that. I had chronic fatigue syndrome for 17 years. So if you want to email me, we could have a further discussion on that. I'm happy to assist. Or if everyone's like, yeah, me too, I'll just make a video on it. Okay, joint pain. Okay, so joint pain, chronic fatigue, pain in general, headache, perfect. Thank you so much for being responsive, guys. This really helps in me knowing how to assist you and what to choose to speak out. So let's go surrounding pain, general pain. And then if you have specific pain that's happening right now, I'll let you know when to add that in. Okay. Okay, Laura, I see you also mentioned chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm feeling like there needs to be something specific on that. Okay. Okay, focusing in on pain. You know what? Let's switch to the 9 gamut. So that's this point. It's in between the two tendons of the hand, just right smack in the middle, just right up from that one. If you don't know the 9 gamut, we're just going to do a few of the steps. It's where you're going to circle your eyes one direction and in the other. Now, if that makes you dizzy or it gives you a headache, particularly if you have a headache, an um, an alternative way that you can do it is just looking from side to side and then choosing a different side to side and then choosing a different side to side. So the eye movement is important, but don't push yourself. If you go halfway in a circle and you're like, "Yep, that's it," and then do another half of a circle, "Oh, now I've got to rest for a second." Perfect. It's not quantity necessarily. You don't want to overload yourself, but it's still doing good. So okay, so So we're going to tap here and start circling our eyes. Okay. So I'm going to start up at 12. This pain, this pain in my body, this pain that I'm feeling right now, this pain that has become a part of my story, this pain that feels like an unwelcome part of my identity, this pain, this pain that is part of who I am. I don't want it to be part of who I am. This pain, this pain in my body. Okay, now switch directions. The intensity of this pain, the distractions that this pain causes, the presence of this pain in my life, the emotions surrounding having this pain. The complications of this pain. This pain in my body. This pain. Okay, so go ahead and pause, let your eyes settle a little bit. Sometimes I just gently pat over them if you feel like it's been a little bit of a strain. Okay, let's go to normal tapping. Even though I have this pain in my body, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I do not want this pain and I really, really want it to go, I choose right now to deeply and completely accept where I am. Even though I really don't want this pain, I'm willing to try seeing what will happen if I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Accepting the pain. Not resigning, not giving up, but accepting. Well, if accepting pain isn't resigning and it's not giving up, then what does that mean? Maybe it means I stop pushing against it. So let's make a visual picture of our pain. And if you have trouble visualizing things in your head, um, you can make it more of a visceral thing or give it a physical name. You could say, well, a rock or um, a mountain, a deep, scary ravine. But however your pain feels to you, how it appears to you. Is it an annoying little pebble in your shoe that just you can never find it, but every time you step down, you feel it? Is it something that's more sneaky, like you feel like it's just following you all the time everywhere and you zip around and you can't ever get away from it, but you know it's there and it's just about to attack? What is it? How would you describe it? How would you personify your pain? Once you have a good idea of what that looks like, what that feels like, who that would be, let's ask it. What do you want? Why are you here? You know that what I want is for you to go away. So why aren't you? Why are you hanging out when you're not welcome? It's possible you've already felt an answer. You get an inkling of something. But in case you haven't, I'll throw out a few suggestions. Maybe pain has a message, something that has to do with self care. I, I, as pain come up when you don't give yourself a break, when you know you need one. When that's the only time you'll actually take care of yourself is when something hurts. Or maybe it's an alarm system. If there's something here that you might want to pay attention to, something that you might want to adjust, and I didn't know how else to tell you. Maybe there's maybe there's a message. Now go with me on this one. This one may feel like a bit of a stretch, it may not be a fit for everybody. Maybe there's a protection. Maybe there's a protection in pain. Maybe when I'm in pain, other people step up and take care of things that I normally have to take care of on my own. Maybe when I'm in pain, I have a really valid excuse for not doing something that I otherwise don't know how to say no to. Maybe when I'm in pain, I'm protected from expectations or attention that I didn't know how else to step away from. Messages from pain, protection from pain. So if I receive these messages, if I feel that there's something that I can adjust? Does that mean that the pain goes away? Will you leave me alone then? Maybe that's true. Maybe it isn't 100% true. Maybe that's a layered answer. But I do know that if I'm able to have insights on taking care of myself or learning about boundaries that will be helpful for me, or releasing an unhelpful belief about pain, I'll feel better. It's a really good first step. I can take a first step. And maybe I don't know what the next one is, but I didn't know what the first one was 5 minutes ago. So maybe after I take this first one, I can find out the second. Steps. Taking steps to communicate with my pain, steps to release the causes of my pain, taking it one step at a time, and choosing to deeply and completely accept the process. Okay, let's breathe that in. Okay, I'll go back and look at the chat. I know that there are emotional pain mentioned here as well, and we didn't cover that in the tapping that we just did. So, oh, Francine, I see selling your paintings. Okay, so was that um, get a little bit more specific for me? Is that like a fear of not having people to purchase, a fear of being able to show their value, actually creating them, or do you have them created already? Um, get a little bit more specific with me on what exactly it is that's in your way for that. Overwhelm on how to retain. Oh, Darcy, you're gonna do fantastic. It's always overwhelming to enter into a new spot, especially and where you are. I'm assuming you mean in the EFT certification, entering mentoring. Um, that's it's a big step. So I'm sure you're doing fantastic, but we can still tap on that. Okay, let's go with. I'm gonna say the word overwhelm, and this is addressing emotional overwhelm. And I may throw in a few specific words, but I really want you to replace overwhelm with something more specific for you. So if your overwhelm is in fear, if your overwhelm is in anxiety, um, if you can be more specific with it, better. And if your word changes throughout the tapping, that's actually a good sign. Okay. So don't feel like, oh, now I'm being indecisive. No, it means that your brain is saying, well, hey, how about we give some juice to this part too? Okay. So when you think of overwhelm, overwhelmed about what? Or how would you describe your overwhelm? Hmm. This overwhelm, this overwhelm that's overtaking me right now, even though I feel completely overwhelmed by this. Right now, I'm making the choice to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now it feels difficult to feel anything but this immense overwhelm, I trust that there's a good reason for me to choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now I can't see past this overwhelm, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. This overwhelm, this overwhelm that just builds and builds and builds in my body and in my mind. It's like I have an endless supply of it. It just keeps coming. This overwhelm that completely fills me up and is everywhere in my environment. This overwhelm and what it feels like, its grip or its pressure in my body. So what does that feel like to you? Does it feel like a heavy blanket? Does it feel like a vice grip on all of you or on a certain part of you? Does it feel like a racing pulse and you can't quite settle? There's this fluttering. Does it have a different sensation for you than anything I've described? If you're in a place where you can speak it out loud, go ahead and speak it out loud and just describe it for a minute. And this expectation of getting everything done all the time feels like spinning in my brain. It feels like, and I'm just describing mine. So if it works for you, great. But if it doesn't, use your own description. Feels like spinning in my brain, and I never make a complete circle. It's just a spiral. Every time I spin, I see something new. I see something new. I see something new, and then it's a different space that I need to go to, and then I spin and I see, and I spin and I see, and there's never a completion. There's no finish line. I'm just constantly spinning in circles. And then I start to wonder, well, did I finish anything? Is anything done? Do I have anything to show that's made any of my effort all this time meaningful? Is it, or is it all just half done stuff? Has any of my effort been okay? Voicing my overwhelm, allowing my overwhelm out, releasing the pressure. Okay, so maybe talking about it in the moment helps it feel better. But what about when it comes back? What can I do? Solutions for long term relief. Solutions for feeling better when my environment doesn't support that. How do I feel better when what's happening that's causing my overwhelm is still happening? If there were a solution, how could I recognize it? How would I even know that I found a solution for my overwhelm? How would it feel different? So let's take a moment to really get that in our heads. What's the opposite of this overwhelm that you're feeling? And what does that feel like in your body? Oh, when I feel like I've done something that's really good and meaningful, oh, I feel warmth in my heart. I feel joy in my body. And I smile really big. Sometimes I giggle because I just can't hold it in. Oh, and I feel relaxed. I feel satisfied. I feel peaceful. I feel calm. Yeah. That's how I know when I'm not in overwhelm, is I feel these things. Well, how do I feel those things? Is it something that I do? Is it someone that I lean on? How do I receive those feelings, those emotions in my life? Is it snuggling with my pet, with my family member? Is it watching my favorite movie, listening to my favorite song, taking a really nice hot shower or a nice bubble bath? Is it calling up a friend, knowing that I can just ugly cry the whole time and they'll still be there for me? Is it allowing myself some time to just go live somewhere else in my head for a moment? just go live in a really happy memory or a completely made up space. Sounds like the common theme is allowing myself to be there. Allowing myself to be in a different emotion. Even if what my environment is giving me is overwhelm. Well, if I get to choose, what's a word that describes where you would want to be? What emotion would you choose to pull into your body? To fill you up when you're surrounded by the overwhelm? The one that's coming to my mind right now is peace. Apparently, that's a theme for me today. I can choose peace, or your word. And it may feel weird at first to be in a situation that would be very logical to be feeling my overwhelm, that would be very acceptable to be feeling my overwhelm. But if I wanted to, I can. I can choose peace instead. I can choose to feel that. And by choosing this, I'm simply choosing to connect in a different way. It doesn't mean that I don't understand the heaviness or the weight of the situation that has the outcome of this overwhelm. It simply means that I would rather show up in a different way for it. I can still hold all of the reverence, the weight, the understanding of what it is that I'm approaching, that I'm experiencing, that I'm going through, that I'm supporting, but choose to feel this way about it. I can do that. Yeah. And I may still have moments where I'm in my overwhelm, and that's okay. As soon as I remember that I have a different choice, I can choose it. And whether or not I'm in overwhelm or in peace, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, put my hands on my heart for that one. Breathe that in. Mm, good job. I feel some feels on that one, you guys. Okay, we have enough time for another short little round. And oh, you're so welcome, everyone. You're so welcome. I'm going to go back to Francine mentioned selling her stunning paintings, and I'm going to interpret that a little bit more broadly because I this is something that's come up a lot just in my general environment of people, and I think this is a really important thing to tap on. You don't always have to tap on something that is necessarily like a negative in your life. It can be a want for a positive, and I'm going to take that as like sharing your talents, sharing who you are, the light that's in your heart, just the joy that you are. We get the message a lot. I won't generalize that for everyone, but I know a lot of people who got the message that it wasn't okay to be them, that in some shape, way, or form, had to shut it off, you had to close it down. You were not allowed to be who you are. And so then when we become adults and we want to give and shine in these ways, even if they're all really positive, great ways, we feel stuck because there's that old belief of, nope, I'm not allowed. It causes problems, causes damage. People leave me. There are all of these things that can get in the way of letting you shine your brightest. So let's end on that. Let's tap for a few minutes there. My inner light, allowing myself to shine at full capacity. Hmm. Even if there's something in my way that's currently keeping me from being my biggest self, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I have these big ideas and feelings in my heart, there's something in the way of letting them out all the way. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself, even though I really want to be my true, authentic self. And right now, I'm not. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. The biggest version of me. What would that even look like? I don't even know that I know. But I know that when I am myself, feels good. Feels really good. Even if something someone says or does because of that makes it feel not so good, I still have that moment where it feels good. And maybe I'm ready for more of that. Okay, but how? How do I get more of that? I don't know that I know. Well, maybe the first step is internal. Maybe it's about showing up for myself. How much trust do I have that I can show up 100% as myself, for myself, by myself? Can I do it in an empty room? Hmm. Have I ever tried? hmm. So maybe I just get used to the feeling of what it feels like to be my true, authentic self. And then I can invite others to the party. maybe finding my true authentic self 100% is a relationship, like every other relationship. And it just needs some time and attention. Maybe I just need to hold space for it. Love my full authentic self a little bit. Maybe flirt with my full authentic self a little bit. Go on dates with my full authentic self a little bit. And maybe from there it'll be a pretty natural process. Getting used to my full authentic self, seeing what that feels like. And in the process of creating a relationship with my full authentic self, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay. I'm gonna throw my arms up for that one. You guys can't see it. I do this with my hands. I put my arms up. Okay. That is our hour. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for participating and giving me comments and sharing what was your vulnerabilities in the moment, what was on your mind, what was weighing you down. And I invite you to just take a moment and check back in and see where you are now and how you're feeling now. And I feel better. I mentioned I'm under the weather, and I was fully expecting to like just go crash back on my couch, and but I've actually got a little bit of energy to me now. So um thank you from me for that. So it's been my absolute pleasure to be here with you. I will be back again next week. I will be thinking about you and holding you in my heart and hoping that you're having the best week possible. And if you have anything that you would like a video on, a technique, a certain idea of something you want to tap on, I do post videos twice a week on the EFT Universe YouTube page. You can email me ideas. You can also just comment on any of my videos. I do check those and respond to those by myself. My email is Amanda, AMANDA, at EFTuniverse.com. All right. Mwah. I'll see you next week.